That's what they're doing. They shifted from Conor coming back to, we'll give you John Jones, Tom Aspinall, biggest heavyweight fight ever. That's what you got.
I'm thinking back now. Remember how Dana White just out of nowhere is like, John Jones is the best pound for pound, and he kept like going like overboard with it.
This is why.
This is during the time that Conor was probably going.
You don't think Dana got word of this months ago?
Yep.
He's brilliant. He's a brilliant businessman. He's like, I've been in the board meetings too with like Netflix and Amazon and HBO or whoever the fuck they're talking to, ESPN. They're like, what about Conor? He's like, right. Hey, so John Jones. And they're like, no, you were just jacking off Conor for like 6 years. He's like, yeah, you know, his toes all fucked up. Dude, John Jones is the best thing you've ever seen. So now the whole narrative is Tom Aspinall to sell these TV rights. Whoever buys these rights, you get the biggest heavyweight fight of all time. And we're gonna put a little extra spice on it. We'll give you Alex versus John too if he wins. That's their play now. And when I say fucked, the UFC, they're not fucked. They're still making billions and billions of dollars. But they don't have very many stars that most Americans can pronounce. They made their bed and they're lying in it with the sheiks over there in the Middle East. That's a whole nother conversation that we probably shouldn't get into. But well, if you want down the road, they're playing a dangerous game and they're going to lose their American market. But for now, let's be cool. It's John Jones, Alex Pereira. That's all we got for you. So yeah, bottom line is hopefully Conor's smart with his money. But again, to sum this all up, I don't know if you can bet on it, Conor versus Jake, but you're going to get Conor versus Jake. That's how you know Conor has a money problem. That's how you know. You get Conor versus Jake. Because UFC is, if something more comes out right now, just knowing the UFC's past, they're not going to let Conor go over this. I know. Is it right? I don't know. Above my pay grade. But history will show that this isn't enough for them to dissociate with Conor. Wild, I know. That's the nature of the game. But if more comes out, they will dissociate with him. And suppose he has 2 fights left on his contract, they would forego that. And then the next fight you would see Conor, probably mid next year. It's going to be fast too. Because the only thing that can have a fan base who adores Conor or that is a Conor fan, the only thing that can outshine all this darkness is a fight. Conor knows that. His team knows that. Even if Conor's not in fight shape, you're going to get a Conor fight. Because that's the only way to silence all this stuff. All this goes away if Conor fights. Because then the focus, everyone's been waiting for him for so long to fight. Now the focus is, oh shit, Conor's back. You forget all this. But if he's not fighting, the only narrative on Conor right now, there's no fight in the future at all lined up. Remember, he kept saying, he was constantly trying to get a fight? Why do you think that is? He kept trying to get a fight. Remember how bad he wanted to fight? Even with his toe. That's weird. I don't know what's going on. Because the only way to silence all this noise of this horrible stuff going on, and it's not good. Whatever you feel about Conor, this is not good. It's terrible. Horrible. It's such a shame. It's so sad. As a Conor fan, it's fucking heartbreaking. But the only way to change that narrative, announce a fight. The world will go nuts if they announce Conor versus Jake. And if Jake doesn't play ball, you might get Conor versus Mike Tyson. And all this gets silenced. That's the game. You want to get all this negativity away? Announce a fight. And I'm not saying it's right, but for the majority of people, they all forget about all this darkness. Announce a fight. That's what fighters do. You announce a fight. It's wild. It's the world we live in. Don't get mad at me. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. It's just the nature of being a fight fan. If you want to get rid of all this darkness, announce a fight. Dana, the slap fight stuff, the meeting with his wife, did you see the announcements after that? All that goes away. All goes away. It's a dark world, man. Some would say the darkest. Out of major sports, it's the darkest. Oh, you thought of something different? They fight grown men in a steel cage in their underwear for a living. Yeah, dude, it's dark. And we all enjoy it. We're all a little weird. What else you got, Chin?
You guys enjoy it more though, with Conor at least.
Hey, man, he had a great run. Some say one of the best. What he's doing now, I mean, but yeah, it's so much to get into because how old was he when he first burst on this? When he was, and you'll see clips online on social media, like when Conor was in his heyday, like some of the stuff he would say, his press conferences were must see TV. Is there a guy now? Name one fighter right now where probably Sean Strickland's the closest, but nowhere near a Conor press conference sold out in seconds, packed to the gills. The energy was wild. When Conor fought, the Diego Brando one was pretty special, and that was Ireland. So how old was he in 2014?
He's 37 now. 36 right now. You do the math.
So if he's 36 now, 8 years ago. So yeah, he's like mid-20s, late 20s, and you give him unlimited amounts of money and fame, it's going to be very tough for a young man that came from, and I'm not making any excuses for him at all. I'm just saying, for him to come from food stamps to having, I don't know, $20 million in the bank and never worrying about money and having all the being the most famous UFC fighter of all time. If there's a book out there, Fame for Dummies, that still wouldn't help him. You couldn't imagine the level of fame he was at. Is the guy going to make some mistakes? Fuck yes. Massive mistakes. Now, illegal mistakes? Hopefully not. But the way it's trending, that's where this is a shame. I expect mistakes. I expect some fuck ups. Not to this degree. The fuck are you doing, dude? No matter what, whether it's consensual or not, what are you doing, dude? But it's so important to have a good team around you that can navigate this for you and tell it. You know what it is? You need somebody around you who's going to tell you no. He doesn't have that. At 36, he doesn't have that. Maybe he does now. I don't know. Because remember, that happened in 2018. So I don't know now. He's made a lot of mistakes. Those mistakes are expected. But there's no playbook on navigating the amount of fame that he has, the amount of money at his age, coming from where he came from. There's no school you can go to that shows you how to manage money, to invest this, your taxes. They don't teach that in school. Weird. I wonder why. Is debt good for everyone? Everyone but you. That's why. No, they don't want you saving your money and being smart with it. No, debt, interest. Figure it out. It's all shame. It's all a fucking shame. That's what it is.
Yeah. And to make matters worse, a spokesperson for the Irish Wax Museum said they took out his wax figure.
Damn it. That's where I draw the line, man.
Yeah. I thought that was so funny.
The Wax Museum took it down.
There's him but they didn't take down Trump.
Well, why would you take down the president
of course
of the
not.
United States?
Yeah.
What's he been accused of? Being awesome? God, I wonder if Conor's like, God damn.
That's the one thing.
I wonder if his team Conor was like, dude, we got some more bad news. He's like, oh, what brand dropped me? They're like, this one's going to hurt, mate. Remember that awful wax figure? They're taking it down. He's all.
So this is Conor's, I guess, fiance. I'm not sure. His girl, Dee Devlin. She posted on her Instagram stories this long thing about that girl. You know, the one that Conor boned.
Yeah. Don't say boned. She put, imagine
boned.
a woman with her own boyfriend and child texting provocative pictures of herself to another woman's man with a family and a child on the way. Devlin wrote, this woman claims to know me, yet still went ahead and sent messages and pictures of herself over and over to the man. Really? Whilst out on a 3-day bender, texting excuses to her own child at home where Mammy is on Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and Sunday morning, Sunday night into Monday morning, Devlin added, all the while out of her face in a hotel room, out of her face meaning cocaine, in a hotel room dancing around a hotel car park. What sort of woman, all caps, are you? My sons will be warned about women like you exist in this world.
Mm-hmm. And then she goes on CCTV stuff.
That's how, yeah, everyone tells me you got to see the CCTV. Send it.
Yeah.
CCTV does not lie, all caps. I look forward to the day the world will see the footage of you on that night and the carrying on of you. Not a bother of you having the time of your life. That's what I've heard. Mm-hmm. This is the real evidence. Video footage no one knew was being taken in the moment, which miraculously you don't remember. To me, it looks like you're the one sexually assaulting in the lift. To me, it looks like everyone is trying to get away from you. Conor and I dealt with these issues privately many years ago, as should be done in a relationship, and we have come out stronger than ever. We have 4 beautiful children. They do. Now whose smiling faces and happy hearts are a testament of who he is and who we are. They without sin cast the first stone. Good for her.
Very long one, yeah.
That's a strong lady. Yeah, that's why I don't. This whole stuff is dicey to get into, but people I know on the ground in Ireland, they're like, dude, we heard what you said. You got to see the CCTV. Like it's going to change your opinion. Yeah. I guess Conor can't, but it's like if I'm Conor, I just post that. Like really, y'all think a victim would act like this? Boom.